No one in Colony 12 had ever seen the sky. Generations ago, after the Great Blackout, humanity was forced underground. The authorities called it a survival act, said the surface was toxic, the air unbreathable, the world above dead. And so, the cities beneath the earth were built, silent, cold, efficient, no windows, no sun. Just recycled air and artificial lights that flickered when the power ran low. Lyre was born into this world. A mechanic by trade, he spent his days fixing broken light panels, memory drives, and old food processors that should have stopped working years ago. He didn't complain. People who asked questions in Colony 12 disappeared. But sometimes, in the silence of his small sleeping pod, Lyre dreamt of things he had never seen. Open skies, rushing wind, the warmth of sunlight on his face. A girl laughing under a tree as birds circled above them. Her name was always on the edge of his tongue, Rhea. He told no one, he wasn't stupid, but the dreams never left. Then, one day, while repairing an abandoned section near the outer vents, Lyre found something strange wedged deep in the wall, a sealed black device, old Dominion tech. He should have turned it in. Instead, he took it home and cracked it open. It was a memory echo drive. It whirred softly, a flicker of static. Then a hologram bloomed into the air, a girl, maybe a few years older than him, with wild dark hair and fire in her eyes. She was standing on a hill under a blue sky. "Someone buried the truth," she said. "If you're seeing this, you're not supposed to. But you need to know, the sky isn't gone. They just sealed it from us." Double quotes. Lyre's chest clenched. She looked familiar, too familiar. Over the next weeks, Lyre found more hidden drives, in air vents, old tunnels, broken terminals. Each one carried another message from the girl. Her name was Rhea. She was real. She talked of rebellion. Of how the surface had healed decades ago. Of how the Dominion, the rulers of the underground, had chosen to lie. Because people who see the sky, she said, begin to question everything. Rhea and her group had tried to open the sealed passage to the surface. But the Dominion found them. Most were killed. She survived long enough to encode her memories into hidden drives. And, somehow, she had included pieces of someone else's memory, someone who had been with her. Lyre, he began to remember not just her face, but the sound of her voice when she laughed. The way her hand fit in his, the promise they made as they stood beneath a real sky. Lyre had been one of them, a skyborn, but the Dominion had wiped his memory. They hadn't found Rhea's backup plan, or maybe they never thought one of their own would rediscover it. One night, he followed the coordinates in the last drive. Deep beneath the colony, past power grids and warning signs, he found a sealed metal door marked topside access do not open. He hesitated, then placed the drive into the console. A new message played. "If you've made it this far, then part of you always remembered. I left you more than my memories, Lyre. I left you the key." The console clicked, lights turned green. But alarms blared instantly. The Dominion had been monitoring this sector. They were coming. Lyre didn't care. He ran to the lift, slammed the button, and watched as the gate began to rise. A gunshot cracked through the air, then another. He dropped to one knee, bleeding, but dragged himself into the elevator. The door closed. He reached the top. For the first time in his life, Lyre saw the real world. The clouds, the sky, the sun burning through the mist. The wind carried the scent of soil and trees. He collapsed to the ground, staring up with tears in his eyes. He was dying, but it didn't matter, because he remembered. And with his last breath, he uploaded Rhea's message, and his, to every screen in Colony 12. It spread. People woke up. They stormed the gates. They broke the silence. They demanded truth. And for the first time in centuries, the sealed doors to the surface opened. Children stepped into the light, and someone painted a mural at the edge of the cliff where the elevator rose, of a boy and a girl looking up at the sky. No one knew if Rhea survived. No one saw where Lyre's body went. But some say, if you stand beneath the stars and close your eyes, you can still hear her whisper, "They buried the sky, but not the ones who remembered it."